Ron DeSantis is, of course, the governor of Florida. He is watching all of this very, very intensely. He has declared a state of emergency in Florida tonight. He joins us right now. Governor, thank you very much for coming on. You're seeing the bigger picture here. How would you assess Florida right now?
Well, Tucker, this is a major, major storm. I mean, it hit at 155 miles an hour. That is one tick below a Category 5. But unlike some of the Category 5 storms we've had, this is a huge storm in terms of its size. It brought record storm surge in Collier, Lee counties, and it's continuing to churn throughout the state. And so, you're going to end up with many more people without power. Obviously, in Southwest Florida, as soon as the storm passes, we have emergency responders at the local level. The state has marshaled hundreds of aircraft. We have high water vehicles. We have the capacity to go by air, by land, or by sea to help people, and we will do that. And that's going to need to take place. But then you're going to have a major effort to restore power. We have 100 cell towers that we can help stand up to help do communications. We have over 42,000 linemen and other personnel associated with restoring power. If you're driving anywhere in Florida, I-10, I-95, you see these trucks coming into the state, and it's been ongoing. So that's going to be the biggest, probably logistical effort in the history of the state. As soon as it's safe to go in, they're going to go in, try to get, of course, rescue people first, then try to stabilize the situation, restore power, get fuel in there, and make sure people can communicate.
So the storm came ashore in Southwest Florida, Lee, Charlotte counties in there. It's hard to know exactly what's going on there. You would know. How bad does it look, the damage, do you think?
Well, I think it's clearly the biggest flood event we've ever seen in that part of the state. And that's not just Lee and Charlotte. That would be Collier. You had massive, massive storm surge. You have places in those counties that have massive standing water. That, of course, presents a lot of hazards on the back end. I mean, we've been telling folks, be careful once the storm goes past. In Hurricane Irma, Tucker, I had the folks pull the numbers. There were 7 deaths directly caused by Hurricane Irma. There were 77 deaths caused in the aftermath for things like downed power lines or misusing generators. So that's going to be a major, major disaster. In terms of some of the structural damage, I think it's too soon. We're getting some intermittent reports, but it's really going to have to pass. We're going to have people out there at the local and state level assessing the damage. But my sense is I think it's going to be one of the biggest flood events we've ever had. What remains to be seen is just how much damage the wind did. Obviously, it's very significant. But as you know, Tucker, in that part of Florida, a lot of those buildings that are built specifically to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. And so we'll see Florida building codes. How did they hold up? And hopefully they held up okay.
When a natural disaster like this strikes a state, it is common. I think it's always the case that the state receives federal aid. Given how politicized things are at the moment, are you confident you're going to get the federal support Florida needs?
So I actually spoke with the president, and he said he wants to be helpful. So we did submit a request for reimbursement for the next 60 days at 100%. That's significant support, but it's a significant storm. So we haven't heard back from it, but I'm actually cautiously optimistic that we do. I mean, as you say, Tucker, we live in a very politicized time. But, when people are fighting for their lives, when their whole livelihood is at stake, when they've lost everything, if you can't put politics aside for that, then you're just not going to be able to. So I'll work with anybody who wants to help the people of Southwest Florida and throughout our state.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson Tonight.